welcome. I don't know what we're going to call this series yet, and this is our first one. I think we're going to call it maybe like Tales from the Smithy or something. I don't know. So anyways, I thought we'd do something a little different than picking video, do a little talking head, talk about some automotive locksmithing, and then just clear up some stuff for maybe some of the non-smith viewers. Do a little tip here for some of the newer smiths out there, something they might not understand how to do. And then I thought I'd tell a story from the road. So, anyways, kick it off. Automotive locksmithing. Whew. Yeah, probably the most hated part of locksmithing for probably all locksmiths. There is a lot to know to be an automotive locksmith. I would say it probably takes about 3 to 4 years to really be really proficient and confident in your abilities. You gotta know how to program. There's key cutting, how to account for wear, how to take apart a door panel, how to take apart a dash, like on these newer Dodges and stuff. Just there's a lot, man. And you gotta have the picking skill. Sometimes that Nastif code, it ain't getting you much. So you gotta really know which vehicles you can do, which vehicles you can't do, which ones you just don't want to touch at all. Like most Fords, great, easy, but then you got like a Mercedes and you're like, whoa, no thank you. Yeah. And then on top of that, you got a lot of people who just don't see the value in what you do, and they don't want to pay you. They think it should be like $20, and they just are so out of reality. They don't grasp like there's insurances and licenses and gas to get out to you and all that if you're going on the road, especially all keys lost. Like if I gotta go out there and I gotta pay one of my guys to go out there, and he's got to go take your whole door panel apart in the rain to decode your lock because whatever the leashy's not doing it, or maybe there's a bit of wear on one and the key cutter's not quite nailing it. So you got to like take the whole thing apart, file one little groove down so you can make sure that key turns. It's not a $20 job, man. That's you don't talk to your plumber that way. You don't talk to your electrician. It's the same thing, man. It's a trade. It's our time to go out there, do the work, take on the risk of taking your door apart. At the risk of maybe it ain't your vehicle. I like to say that doesn't happen, but every once in a while you get that crazy guy who just calls a locksmith to try and steal a car. It's pretty rare, very rare. I find that's more of a residential domestic dispute issue, at least for me. But I don't know about you guys, but there's dumb people out there, and it happens. So that's the risk we're taking, right? And there's also guys out there that they want your programmer, and so we're rolling around with these things, and yeah, man, they're just Smiths getting ripped off for their parts and for their tools. It does happen. Anyways, that's my little rant about automotive. I thought we'd, for the new guys, we'll go over how to field reverse an LSDA dead latch. So we got 2 screws. We got one here, one on the other side. Same idea. What we're going to do is we're going to take these screws out. And we're going to be holding our hand over this because it's got a spring in there. Actually, I think 2 or 3. And you don't want that to explode out. I guess we're going to take that off, flip that around. There we go. All right. So we got that guy out. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now we're going to very carefully lift this guy off of here. We'll put that there. We'll take our one spring and put it here. Take our other one and put it here. Okay, now it's going to be kind of hard to show you, but what we're going to do is we're going to kind of push this guy down and out. Now there should be, I believe, 3 pieces to this. Okay, so now we got our housing. It's up. Try and show you this. We've got 3 pieces here. So this is a little bottom part, making sure the door is actually shut. And then there's a little spring in here that you can barely see. We don't want to lose that guy.
And then we've got this little guy here, this little pin, and then we're going to pop that pin out, and that's going to allow us to pull this out. Okay, so now we pull that little guy out, and we can take this. We're going to put it on the let's dump our little spring out of there. Flip it to the other side. Okay, so now we've got it over to here. Put our pin back in. Okay. Now that little spring goes right in the middle underneath this tongue. Okay. There's a little slot for it too. Now you might need to take like a little pair of tweezers. Probably be easier. Make sure it's nice and vertical. Boom. Okay. That's all back together now. Then what we can do, we're going to drop in our other little tongue here, and we're going to shove that all back in our housing. There we go. Just one. Get it in there. There we go. Okay. Now we've flipped this. Now why you'd want to do that is maybe you've only got the one and you need it to face the other way on your commercial door. Okay. Now we take our big spring. Now it's pretty obvious. Big hole goes in, and then there's a little hole for your other spring. Okay. We're going to take our clip that we pulled out. I'm going to shove that on top. Hold her in place. We take our little set screws here. Had a few too many coffees today. You know how it is. When you're burning the midnight oil, doing those late night lockouts, the next morning is very much a coffee day. Boom! All right, here we go. First one's in, not in as much danger now. We're going to put their second one in here. This is just kind of like for fun, right? We'll do a better video with a close-up on it so you get a much better look and light. But this is just kind of filler. Anyway, there we go. Now we have field reversed our dead latch. So, as I promised, story time. I thought we'd talk about, because it's coming up on New Year's, talk about my first police open up. So we go to this place. When I was an apprentice, I worked with this old man, and fuck, he was awesome. Cool dude. Motorhead. Awesome dude. Okay. And we get a call. It's a fairly regular client for the business, and he's got a vacant property where he thinks there's somebody living in there, and there shouldn't be. Like, it's supposed to be vacant, and his property's wild. Like, there's the main house, and it used to be like a what do you call it, like a summer camp kind of thing. So there's all these little tiny cabins everywhere, and we can tell there's dogs on the property because we can hear them, right? So SPCA's out there too, and we got the cops coming out, and we're getting ready, and we're like head on a swivel because they're like, we don't know if there's people here, and go up to the door, and I'm so fresh, like my picking skills, oh man, it's embarrassing at that point, right? So obviously I can't pick it because I'm maybe 3-4 months into the trade, and bust out the drill, go to drill the door. I get maybe 3/8 of an inch in, and the door opens, and this tweaker chick just bugged right. I was like, what are you doing to my door? And the cops come ripping in, and they're like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? And they pull her out, put her in the handcuffs, all that, and she just gone, wacko. So they start doing the clear. They clear most of the house, and there's one room in the front where the dogs are, and they don't go in there. They're like, well, might be somebody in there. We don't know. And old man's like, all right, well, let's start doing the rekey. I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. So we go up,
There's like, you go in the side door, and then there's kind of like a kitchen and a hallway, and go down the hallway, and there's like a front door, right? And that front door, right beside it, is the door to the room where like the dogs are, right? So old man just beelines it right for the front door. I'm like, you're crazy. All right. So I'm following him because I'm still learning, right? And I'm just like, all right, we're hanging out. He starts taking the front door off, like taking off the handle set and the deadbolt, and all of a sudden, the door beside us starts to open. But the way it opened is like the front door would open, and then that door opened into it. So fucking old man just grabs the door and pulls it open so that they can't open the door anymore. I'm just gone. Like, as soon as I saw that door open, I'm out. I'm getting the cops, like, because like we can't carry guns up here, right? So I'm out there like, you guys gotta get back in there, man. Like, there's still somebody in there in that room. Like, the door's open. You could get in and out. Like, go. So they go running in, and all of a sudden, it was weird. This house is a residential house, but it had like this shutter on the outside window, and the shutter starts opening. And I'm like, you guys gotta get somebody out here too, because she's trying to go out the other way now. Turns out this lady had just gotten out of jail, been in for like 8 years, already had like 12 warrants for her arrest, and she was part of some crew, and there was like 2 other dudes who they knew who she was. Like, the cops, they knew, like, as soon as they saw her, like, oh, we know exactly who you are. And apparently she got like 2 dudes in her crew, and they're not there. So now we're standing outside like, all right, so are they in like one of these little cottages somewhere? Are they in the basement or something? Because like, I don't know, man, like, you guys didn't clear this place too well, obviously. So finally they get her all out, and they get the dogs, and dogs are, they take them and all that. And so I was sitting in the back of the van just like shaking, trying to do the rekey. I love my job. Oh man, it was wild. And of course it was New Year's Eve too, so it's just like, I came home and I was having a few beers after, and that was a heck of a time, man. It's just, it's a crazy job. You see some crazy stuff. That wasn't definitely not the craziest one I've done, but that was definitely the first, and it was eye-opening to how much I loved my trade and how cool it can be and how exciting it can be. Like, you're not always in it, but you're kind of on like the sidelines of like, get a little taste here and there, and it's pretty cool. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like it, turns out good, yeah, maybe we'll do some more, tell some more stories, give some more tips. Alright guys, take it easy. Cheers.